Okay, 2015, good luck. So we've not played before, no head-to-head score. Opponent, only 30 games, that's a new account, okay. So my opponent's rating may not reflect their actual ability level, we'll find out as the game goes on, so I'll just play the normal Carol. But we have got 10 minutes for this one. Okay, stick to principle, take with the pawn. And we're just going to try and castle. How do I want to do this? I'm just wondering whether to bring the bishop up now. Could be an issue, but I think it's playable. So I'm going to play at e6 with the bishop outside. Okay, he might go g4. Obviously, I'll have to drop back if he does. I won't be taking here. But he might go for one of these lines now, and then it's whether he's got the extra move to get the queen in. Whereas I'm just going to try and do this, this, and this, and just castle as quick as I can. So he's played bishop down. So I think that still allows us to play e6. If bishop in, we can block multiple ways. Knight in isn't a move right now, so you might be looking at g4 back, check, say we block knight in, rook across. No, I think I'm kind of still committed to play it. I'm going to play it. I just need one move for the bishop and one move to castle. But he might go g4. I'm kind of committed to kingside anyway now. Yeah, maybe I should have played a6 as a holding move just to deal with this bishop. Oh, he's just castled straight away. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go cautious. No, at least I'm preparing to castle. Then the bishop will come back at some point, I guess. I mean, knight up and you guard your knight. Same sort of thing for me. It's very symmetrical, isn't it? It's very symmetrical, not identical, but symmetrical. Near enough. So we'll probably see c3 at some point, so I'm going to have to expand these pawns. It's going to be very difficult to create anything here. But I think knight on c6 still feels like a natural square. It still feels like the right square for the knight. Then we'll probably see c3. What else have we got? Maybe we can just drop the bishop back. Or maybe after c3 drop back. That we can trade that bishop off. Yeah, let's play knight up. And if c3, I think I'll just drop the bishop back. Okay, he has, so we're going to drop back. But now we're going to have to try and come up with a plan to actually get forward and create something. But if the bishop's gone, then I can play maybe b5, a5, just chuck the pawns up the board. Got to watch out for the queen getting down here and the knight here, though. That could become a bit of a problem. But obviously, I'll have to take with the h pawn for now. The f pawn and the rook just crashes straight through. They might not take, of course. Oh, he's dropped the bishop back, so he's going for an attack maybe then. Probably wants me to play this, but I'm going to have to play it at some point anyway. So let's see if he's going to trade or drop back, because he might want to drop back and line up a sacrifice for later in the game. Actually, have I... Oh, I was going to say, if my knight was guarded, I could play b5, takes rook across, but the knight hangs. I could go forward and simplify a little bit now then. Let's get that done. Probably go with the knight rather than the queen if he takes. Probably, not sure. Because he's got two options to take, or he could just ignore them both. Well, actually, if you ignore this, you lose your bishop, but he could drop back this and this. But let's just see. Knight here feels a bit misplaced though, doesn't it? Yeah, let's go with the queen. The problem is we're in the kind of a little bit of a firing line. You don't want to put the queen on the file where the rook is ideally. But the knight feels like it would do nothing here. Might be wrong, but that's just what it feels like. If takes, I'll probably go with the bishop. I think the pawn would just break my structure completely and be a little bit too risky. So I think I'll go with the bishop. Well, mind, it is rapid, isn't it? I'm going to say I shouldn't really pre-move, but I've done it now. knight moves back, so I'm just going to drop the bishop back to where it was, and now I'm going to try and look to expand, but if I can guard my knight first, get off this firing line, then if the bishop were to take, I'd have rook across to target the pawn. Otherwise, I'll just go slowly and steadily and try and expand the pawns, but I want to move the queen off this fire line first, otherwise I could easily blunder a nice tactic or lose the pawn just forgetting that the pin is there. So I'm just looking at queen up or queen across somewhere as my next move, depending on what my opponent does. Oh, he has actually pushed, but that leaves a pawn here. So here takes, I can't take back, but I've got the knight here and I can jump in, right? So take, and if you take here, I've got knight up to hit the two rooks. If he takes here, I guess I could just take back, but maybe I could take either rook first. That's sharp, isn't it? Here, takes, bishop in, the queen's got a square. But knight in, takes. It could go horribly wrong. Takes, he'll go with the knight, but then maybe we can just play rook across and hit the pawn. Two would attack, one would defend, and how would he guard it? I don't see. Yeah, let's go the more cautious approach. He's going to have to try and push at some point, so I'll play rook across. Rook across doesn't work, does it? That's the problem because of this pin. Maybe I should have gone with a knight. Rook across now, he can push anywhere. Well, actually, can he? Gain a pawn, lose a rook. Gain a queen, lose a queen. Gain a rook. So maybe no, maybe I can play it. Got to take a bit of time to figure it out. I assume he's going with a knight to guard his pawn. Then I think rook across. That's what I'm looking at. Then he's not got any other pieces to guard the pawn, so he does indeed just push it immediately. Okay, I think this is where we need to go forward then. So we might end up with the same line anywhere. If he takes, we've got the option, I guess, knight takes, but we're threatening knight up. The very sharp line he's played, isn't it? Really sharp. Knight takes again, knight up. We hit the two rooks. He's got pawn takes. And I've got pawn takes back, I hope. But it's extremely sharp and it could easily be going wrong. But at least it does open up the file for our rook to hit f2. And that's the fun of chess, isn't it? Every position is different, every game. Now maybe I've gone a little bit too quick here. I need to use some of my time. But knight c2 is the threat. So does he have anything good to counter it? Oh, hold on, I've just realised. Has he got d6, takes, knight takes? No, I think I can drop back somewhere and I still guard my knight. Yeah, he has taken, so do I play knight up? If he takes here, I'll have to take with the queen, but I create an immediate threat. As well as hitting the rook, I hit the f2 pawn. So he can do this, but knight up and we hit two rooks. So has he got anything good in reply? If I'm here... Oh, he's got bishop takes, what the heck? He's actually got bishop takes, hasn't he? So I'm going to have to take here. He's got bishop takes. So none of this works for me. I'll have to go with a knight then. How the heck's he found all that? It's the bishop he wants there, not the knight. I can still activate my rook, but yeah, that's really a bit too dangerous. Bit too dangerous, isn't it? Even bishop takes now. He's threatening to take and muck the structure up. I'll have to shift the queen, I think. Yeah, if I'd have took with a queen there, I'd have blundered bishop takes and my queen was pinned if I'd have played knight forward. Yeah, he's gone with that. So he has seen all this. What the heck? Okay, I'm just going to move quickly there and get the queen out of the firing line. Knight forward is covered by my bishop. I can just trade that if I need to. If he takes, we take back. We create an immediate one-move threat. And then we're going to try and get the rooks more centralized if we can. Yeah, he's played across again, but now that gives us a chance to get the knight out of the way again. Either of these, we can go here and guard the pawn, but what about this? If he takes, we can just go here, right? And bishop takes is now covered. So I think I can go back again, hit the queen and threaten c2 again. If he takes here, he double attacks this, but it's quadruple defended. The queen's not in the firing line now, so knight up is a threat, even if he moves his queen next move. I think. Very, very sharp for a carreau. knight to e4 now. I think I just take with the bishop and then I'm attacking the queen still. Yeah, he has grabbed the pawn, so I think this is where I simply come forward. Now I'm on a dark square, so the only way to really attack the queen is with the knight, and I simply take, and if rook takes, I take the other rook. So it's got to be the move, right? Let's go forward, hit the two rooks. Bishop up, I think I can just spend a move and put the rook on a dark square. I'll just click anywhere to clear your markings if you've drawn any. Just be careful not to accidentally pre-move though. Yeah, rook comes across, so we're just going to take this rook. And now I'm looking at rook over. Takes and takes. I've got a really solid king and we're getting active. Knight moves, we've got to hit to f2. So that looks good to me. So I'm going to come across, but that's the target. I know the queen's there. I'm just trying to activate the rook and then try and pressure f2 if I can. Of course, it does give my opponent an outside pawn. But we're going to take, hit the knight. Knight goes to guard. So I've got queen across as a candidate move. Because there's a pin here, my bishop's loose, so if the queen finds a way to attack my bishop. But I like queen across. Trade, and if you don't, I can take and it's mate in two. And here, bishop takes. It must be safe just to take back. So I'm just going to play queen across and try and get the queen off the board. And then, can I get that pawn? That's the question. And can I avoid blundering, like knight in, something like that? Oh, actually, I might have blundered then. Knight in. Maybe I've got rook to e. Oh, rook f. Oh, I might have blundered. I can't move my rook anywhere safe to deal with knight in. You hit the bishop with a pin, and you threaten to fork both of the rooks. But I've done it now, so I'm committed. So does he see it really quickly? Have I got rook across here? Because he hits the bishop. But he doesn't hit my rook though, does he? So the rook guards the bishop. So rook across, and if you take, there's no check. So maybe I play rook across. As long as my rook's not under attack, but that's the big problem if you manage to get it down the board. Yeah, have I gone a bit wrong? Let's find out. He has found that. Maybe I need king up then to break the pin completely. But he's got this move. That's why I think I need to move the rook. King up, knight down. Give the exchange back, but he's suddenly then got the pawn and he's better, isn't he? So here, no, it's got to be right. Let's come across. If he moves anywhere, I'll simply take the rook. Even if he takes the bishop, I just take the rook. Okay, king over to guard. But now am I safe to break the pin and just sack a pawn and then get the rook off the board? That might actually not be winning though. That might not be winning. Because the pawn can be guarded by the bishop. Ooh, what have I done? I can't go here, check. Here. Bishop takes, knight takes, rook takes. As long as his bishops come off, I'm fine. So knight takes. And then I don't have to take the knight back, do I? Let's break the pin. There's still no knight check, so my rook's safe. If the knight moves anywhere, I'm taking. And it's a check as well, which is important. But if it ends up rook versus bishop and pawn, the bishop and pawn could win if he's quick enough. Here takes, say king takes. He can drop back, and it's, oh, he's gone with the knight. Okay. So I need to take. Have I got any tricks here? I think he's done it right. Check, king up somewhere, check. I just drive his king up, but I do have a check here. Take, king takes, take, and I can sack, right? I think I throw a check in. And try and win at least one pawn and then sack the bishop for this pawn. Unless I trade now. So I check here. I'm trying to get this pawn, which I can't do. Ooh, oh boy. He's got no knight check. That's useful now though, but I've got no good moves. I could check here. What does he do? I want to get rid of the bishop. That's the target. I could play here and see if he pushes up, and then maybe this. Take, and he permanently guards, doesn't he? So I don't think I can trade. So I'm going to gamble and hit the pawn and hope I can sack the bishop for the pawn and try not to put this on a light square and blunder the diagonal. He's played this really well. Very, very sharp for a carrow. Like at our level anyway. So he's come forward. Oh, he's let me just take the pawn. What the heck? Why has he not run the pawn there? What have I missed here? This should be winning now that pawn's gone. Yeah, now the bishop's gone. It should be. It doesn't mean it is, but it should be. They're still not easy to convert though, are they? Not easy at all. I'm probably going to have to march forward, but he might get my pawns off the board. Yeah. Let's just go up one and try and bring the king over and make sure I keep these far apart so there's no knight check. Did I just have check there? That's annoying. Let's come here then to pressure the pawns. I need to keep one of my pawns on the board. If he sacks for both, I'm going to struggle. So let's play forward. There's a knight check, but not to win the rook. That's the important thing. Oh, now I can drive him back. If I can sack at some point, it might be good, but I don't see how. Let's come round. Yeah, he's found it. He really knows what he's doing, doesn't he? Let's take up. No, he can't move his knight this move. Boy, he knows what he's doing, does he? Although that's one pawn. Can I get the other one? If he sacks knight for pawn, but I've still got my rook, then it's winning. So here I can drive him back. So do that and keep him on the back rank. Then come across. Okay. It's not actually winning here because his king can stop my pawn. Oh, he's hung his knight. He's hung his knight, getting low on time. Okay, now it's winning there. But that was a tough game, wasn't it? He found some very good moves there. So let's see what it was in engine speak. So we just pause and then go back to the game just so I don't accidentally start another. 47 moves. So they're the move times for both players. So let's see what it was in engine language. I could easily have gone wrong there. If I'd have moved a little bit quickly and put the queen at f7, I could have got the queen lost. Yeah, it's level, isn't it? So it's completely level here. This position is flatline level, and he's really just blundered the knight. Although we are better here and we've messed up and it's gone back to level. He's played it tremendously. I mean, at least we were never worse in the game. It's flatline out of the opening, right to move 16. So we played the opening good again. Then we've got an advantage and gone back to level, and the same here. But he's found it right the way to this position. Basically just keep checking, wandering around, sit still, and it's actually just a draw. So if we flick through the first few moves, it's not flagging any mistakes here, it's just all level. And then the first blunder comes with the move c4. But I should not have played d-takes. I should have activated the rook immediately because of this issue with the pin. So I should have activated the rook straight away. What were the figures we played? 92% versus 84 accuracy, CPL 22 and 43. So I've got no blunders, but I've still been plus 3.5 back to level. Just making some mistakes. So queen b3 is another blunder. But it's not flagging any mistake me here. Rook a to b8 is the next mistake. I should have played queen to f4 here. Hit the knight and pressure the bishop. So the knight can't move, so you've got to guard the knight and then presumably activate the rook the next move. Okay. Then queen to b6 I should not have played. So what should I have done here? I should have played rook to b1 and got his rook off the board immediately. Rook to b1 is what I should have played. Okay. Then I've only got like a little inaccuracy here, but it's still gone back to level. Even though I've played the game perfectly well, I don't understand how that's happened then. But it has. I'm still plus 3 here. 1.5 now. And it's just coming back to level, isn't it? Even though at the engine's saying I'm not making any real mistakes. It's same rook up here instead of king up here. Oh, now that's that king mistake is the mistake then. So he knew that he could sack the pawn here instead of moving it. That's a bit odd, isn't it? I was expecting him just to move it and say a rook up and just bishop here. But he knew giving up the pawn, it's still level. That's what it seems like. But then he's just gone wrong. So that's a blunder there, allowing us to drive the king back. Now it's +5, and we have converted this bit pretty well. From this position, it's now winning for us. We should have played pawn up here instead of king across. So 3.4. Here it's back to +5. Had to take. Now here he's had to step away. Obviously the knight can't move, the pawns can't move, so the king had to move somewhere. So we managed to win the pawn. And now it's 5.7. And now I've come in and he's just blundered the knight there. So say king forward, we can eventually take here. But if I sack first and take, his king can get in front and stop us promoting. So in the end, it comes just down to that blunder there. But he's played it really good there. Made it a very interesting game for a Karo, so very good.